Now let's go ahead and add some lights here for our scene. And the type of lights that we should go for is something that will match one of our references. The main reference that I have is this front view right here. So looking at this, observing the light, the main light source is coming from this direction. You could see that this is the brightest area. And we also have a fill light here, but the intensity is not as much as the one you see from above here on this side. So I'm gonna do something like that for my lighting in this scene. I'm gonna go ahead and Shift A and go to light, and let's go ahead and create an area light. Let's go ahead and move it. Press G and then Z. And I'm gonna move it to the side. G, X. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and move it up some more. So generally you want to put it above the head of the character, because in real life the artificial light is kind of basically above us, right? And it will just also give us some more nice shadows to work with. And I'm gonna go and move it forward, a bit more forward, and I'm gonna rotate this R, Y, there you go, and then R, X. So it's just pointing right on his face on this side. And we could see better what we're working with if we go to our render display view here. Okay, and right now we do have it in Eevee, which is just a real-time render, and that is fine. We could work with that for now. And we could go to our lights here, so we could adjust the power. I'm gonna crank it up. Right now, the character is not real world size. I think this is too big. That's why it looks like I have to really crank up the power pretty high. Later on, we could adjust this and make it real world size. But right now, it's just a little test so we could see exactly what features of the face we further need to fix. I'm going to go ahead and RX, go. And then I'm going to go use my move tool here and just kind of move it this way. And move it here. There. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make another copy of this. I'm going to go and Shift D, right click, and I'm just going to move it down. There you go. So I'm trying to just match the way the light looks from my reference. That's what I'm really trying to do here. Okay, and I think I could bring down the intensity for this so it's not so bright. If it's too bright, you could see this losing the detail, so something like that. And I'm gonna make a copy and put it on this side so that we have a little fill light here so that we can see more of the details on the other side. Shift D, and I'm gonna go ahead and move it this direction, rotate it, and I'm gonna go ahead and move it this way, and I'm gonna rotate it that, and move it. And of course, since this is just gonna be a fill light, I'm going to go ahead and bring down the power. I don't want it too much because the main light is going to be coming from this side. Alright, so I think it's pretty much kind of matching up. I could probably maybe make a copy of this and move it down. Shift D to make a copy, and I'm going to move it down. There you go, so we could have a bit more light here hitting this area. I'm going to go and bring down the intensity. There you go. Alright, and so looking at this here, I think maybe I could see, maybe the nose could be shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and select my character. I'm going to go to sculpt mode. I'm going to go ahead. If you're on orthographic, and it will look different from the perspective, but that's fine. I only use the orthographic just to mask out the area, and then I go back to perspective. Is what I do. So I'm going to go to my mask tool, and I'm going to go and mask out this area. Mask out from, I'm going to go and mask out the nose area and the lips also. So when I move up the nose, the lips are gonna move up with it. Okay, Control I to invert, and Mask this area out. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna go to my move tool here. And okay, and undo that. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of smooth this out, the edges of the mask. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my move. I'm gonna turn off my symmetry. I'm gonna go ahead and slightly move this up. Not too much, just slightly. You know, and it, yeah, you can see how it starts to look different now. And so really look at your character and see just how far the nose is, or how short it is, or how long it is. I think. Let's see here. Maybe slightly higher. So I'm looking at different views of Michael B. Jordan. He doesn't have a short nose. Okay, so maybe something like that. Maybe slightly down. You don't want it too down. Alright, so see, it doesn't have a European nose, so you don't want it too long. Later on, when we put in the picture here of Michael B. Jordan and do a little accuracy check, we could better see what we're working with. It might be slightly a little too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up just above. There you go. I think this is fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and Alt-M to unmask that, and I'm gonna go back to one of my brushes here. Okay, another thing that I want to do is I want to add some more volume around this area. I think this is also one of the areas that make him look unique. This area has a very prominent shape to it. So I want to further work on that, okay? And another thing is around the eye area here. I think I might have made the eyebrows look a little too high. So I'm gonna have to definitely fix that. The eyebrows is too high. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my grab brush. Turn on the symmetry as you're doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it down. And when I'm trying to bring it down, I had a little issue. I think, I still have my lock turned on, so I'm going to turn this off. If you're having issues sculpting, maybe you forgot to turn this off the lock. So just double check that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move this down. Move this down slightly. And down. Go. Yep, something like that. And looking in this view. See this view. Okay, so I think I could slightly move this down. And I'm going to go to my clay strip brush. Add some more shape here. And smooth it. And I'm going to go to my draw brush. And I'm going to go ahead and definitely add some more volume here. I'm going to bring it down, the intensity. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add some more indication of the middle part here of his brow ridge. I think this part is pretty obvious on him, I think. Yep, that's too much. Okay, and just kind of smooth it. I don't want to exaggerate too much. Smooth it. Okay, and I think I could further split this out. And add some more here, volume. I think this part might be slightly too deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some volume here. This part's too deep, and smooth it. Go. Push this in and smooth it. Alright, so something like that. And could further indicate the bony landmark for the forehead. Smooth this out. So I made the brow ridge in the middle more noticeable and the eyebrows in general lower. And I think I could probably use my grab brush and just lower it down just a bit more like that. And this. Okay. Alright, and then I think for the chin, let's look at the chin area. I think I might have exaggerated on the side here. I'm looking at the side here. It looks like it's a little too puffy. So I definitely gonna have to fix that there. So it's good to always look at different views of your character. So I don't think he really has something that's sticking out that much around this area. So I'm gonna go to my scrape brush and just flatten this area out. There you go. There you go, much better. And I'm gonna go look at his chin area. Okay, so I think around his chin area, I could use my grab brush and move this way. Go. Maybe the chin is too much of an oblong, so it's too round. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of move this up like that. And gonna move it this way, make it more angular. That's too angular. I don't want it too round. At the same time, I don't want it to be too angular. All right, and I think I could go ahead and add some more volume here. Go to my smoothing, smooth this out, add more volume here and smooth it. Smooth this out. And push this area in. So I could see that we could add this type of shape here for the nasolabial fold of the character. So for some people, this part is going to be quite noticeable. So I'm thinking of this shape here. At the same time, I'm thinking of this shape right there. All right. That's what I'm thinking about right now as I am sculpting this. Push this in. Get out. Go to my clay strip. Go. Push this in. Smooth it. Add some bony landmark. Pull this out slightly. Go. Okay, smooth it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe add some more volume in this area. Okay. So I think around this area of Michael B. Jordan is going to be quite thick, really around this area, I think. So you could just imagine if he gains a lot of weight, he would have a really round face in the lower part. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get it this direction. Okay, and I think around this area could maybe emphasize the bony landmark on the forehead just lightly and smooth it. And also here we go ahead and push this in, show a bit more of the information in the forehead. Temporal line, gotta show more of the temporal line here. Push this in and push it out. So the good thing about working here with Eevee, you're able to sculpt with the lighting, and you can see it's very smooth, now lagging at all, or we're smoothing, and we could match up the lighting that we have on the picture on our 3D view here, and we could sculpt as we could see the exact lighting that we need. So very good way to work in Eevee. I'm going to add some more volume around this area, and I'm going to go ahead and scrape this up and smooth it. Go to my clay strip and push this in slightly. Go to my draw sharp and add the border of the lips. Make it show some more. And smooth it. Alright, so that's how it looks like with the real-time render. And see here. So look what we could do with the ears. So I think for the ear part, I think could be sharper. I'm gonna go to sculpt mode. And I think he has slightly sharper ears, like that. Not too much. Maybe make it slightly higher. And I'm gonna go to my draw sharp and push this in. Keep in mind that if you remesh this, if you remesh your geometry, you're gonna lose the painting, okay? That means you're gonna have to repaint it. So I really avoid remeshing this. I'm just working with what I already have for my geometry. And yeah, the ear's too big around here, so I'm gonna go push that in, that. And make this smaller. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go to my grab brush, pull this out slightly, and move this down. Alright, like that. I don't want him to have elf ears either, so I don't want to exaggerate too much. Okay, so something like that would be fine. You know, I actually want to look at this when I render it in cycles. So it looks good with Eevee, but Eevee is like the real-time render. So the way this looks like here is definitely how we're going to see it when we put it in Unreal Engine later. But it's good to also take a look at cycles. Alright, it looks about the same, I think, when we set it to cycles and Eevee. If you set it to cycles, it's just softer, the shadows. But yeah, I think we're definitely on a roll here.